I've received the following question. Hello Birtie. Do we have two requirements with grace? Love or faith or both? In other words, the way I understand this question is that should we have love and faith or just love and faith? You know, I think this is love towards people, what is intended here. It says, we must be believers. Can we use the word faith and believe synonymously? I am trying to make sense of 1 Corinthians 13. Can we really separate love from faith? I love him because he first loved me, and have faith because of his demonstration of his love. Maybe it's talking about losing our first love and still having faith from our time in the past with God. What are your thoughts? Now, I think the scripture that Darby is referring to is that even if you have faith, but you do not have love, you are nothing. Now, the way I see it, the context there was the faith to move mountains and do supernatural miracles and those kind of things. The context there is people that believe that they start to find their identity in the gifts. In other words, it would be like, I spoke to somebody the other day, you know, where he said to me, you know, we cannot say something against prosperous preachers, because if a prosperous preacher, you know, has got a certain doctrine and he's got a massive church and a massive building and those kind of things, you know, who are we to correct him on what he believes, because he's got millionaires in his church and he's built buildings of $400 and $500 million cash and those kind of things? How can we now want to correct them? Because look at how God has favored them. Now what that would be, it would be looking at a blessing and then immediately become legalistic and make a hierarchy wherein you would find, you know, these folk having this hierarchy that the guy who's got so much money is higher than the other one. Now we all know, when I just say that a man's life does not consist out of the abundance of his possessions. Jesus clearly said that. Jesus said, look how many people that are poor are rich in the faith, which is just completely contradicts the rubbish wherein we must honor people are saying they've got great faith because they've got finances or money. So, you know we cannot say that. But in the context of 1 Corinthians here, was that these people didn't have love for the other nations anymore. But what they were walking in was signs, wonders, and miracles. And their faith was that we can have gifts and the miracles. And they start to have a hierarchy about these things. And what he was saying is, if you have got all the gifts in your life, but you don't have what the gospel is all about, which is God's love for man, then you are nothing. What he actually was saying was this: what makes you who you are is God's love for you, not the gifts that manifest in your life. So I think that it refers to the gift of faith there, not faith in God, but the gift of faith that talks about signs, wonders, and miracles. So Darby, I hope that answers your question. Thank you so much. God bless.